Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jeff Higgins from Higgins Storm Chasing. It is the 14th of the 9th, 2016. In this forecast video, we'll look at the current low pressure system located over South Australia and Victoria, its forecast movements, and how much rain is expected to fall, with obviously heavy falls through southern inland Queensland and parts of Victoria, northern Tasmania. So currently on the weather zone, satellite and radar imagery, we can see that the low pressure system is centred around about the Victorian South Australian border, where my pointer is here. That there's a strong surge of heavy rain just entering now through Adelaide. This should ease later on in the day as the low moves east. It also extends, and you can see the circulation there obviously, but it also extends a trough out in front, which has swept through Victoria, has delivered some heavy rain. There's flooding there, good rain through New South Wales. This front goes up through eastern New South Wales and then bends back towards the northwest across southern, southwest, and even right back to Alice Springs. There you can see rain and thunderstorm activity, and this trough has delivered some pretty healthy rainfall through northern inland parts of New South Wales and southern Queensland over the past 24 hours. Right, let's move over here and have a look at that rainfall in the past 24 hours. Green dots are 25 to 50. Orange dots are 50 and above. We don't have any hundreds at the moment. However, these areas are saturated down here in Victoria, and it is causing flood issues down here in Victoria. And you can also see through northern inland and southern inland parts of Queensland, New South Wales, there are good falls as well. A majority of those between 25 and 50, with the odd higher than 50. There is something I can show you on the bomb map here as well, and that is river conditions. You can see the red hats are major. There's one down there in Victoria, one here in central inland New South Wales, a couple of moderates, and the green hats are minor flood warnings, which we'll expect these to at least continue for the near future, and possibly some of these might increase further. On the warnings for Australia, across each state, South Australia, there's a lot of warnings out. There's flood watches and severe weather warnings. There's flood warnings as well. In Queensland, we've got a flood watch with a few final warnings there for some of the rivers that were in existing flood. But to keep an eye out for those coming up over the next few days. New South Wales, plenty of flood warnings, watches. Victoria, plenty of flood warnings and watches with a severe weather warning. Tasmania, flood warning and watch there as well. So plenty of water running around the place. Now this is the next 4-day rainfall forecast from the BOM. A lot of this will fall over the next 24 to 48 hours, even though it's a 4-day outlook. You can see down here that the low down here, you can see what it does. It flicks up some healthy rain there, very moderate, isolated pockets of heavy rain into southeast SA. As this low tracks across Victoria, it's still forecast to bring some moderate to heavy rainfall across central and eastern parts, and then that wraps around down here into northern half of Tasmania, particularly the northeast there, 50 to 100. Okay, they don't really need much more rain after what happened down there earlier in the year. Now the trough pushes through most of New South Wales. So as this low spins, it pushes the trough east and clears most of New South Wales over the next 24 to 48 hours. But then the trough kind of slows down and stalls and tilts back towards the northwest here through northern inland, northeast New South Wales, southern inland, Queensland, central inland Queensland, like that. Becomes slow moving, keeps sliding, and these rainfall totals start to really accumulate here now. So we're looking at wide areas of 50 and a fair bit of 100 possible there as well. Southeast is pretty quiet. There will be a little bit of rain right on the southeast coast here, and look, that you can see that the further that you go inland, just in there on the downs, the rainfall starts to increase greatly. That's just the way the cookie crumbles at the moment. Then anywhere from about, let's say, Gympie north along the coast, excuse me, east coast of Queensland, very limited rainfall in the next 4 days. All right, people say, oh, why are you ignoring Townsville, or why don't you mention us, or why don't you answer the question? Don't have to. We'd tell you, first up, in the forecast, if we expected those areas to get rain. I'm not going to turn around and tell 1,000 people every 5 minutes, oh, fine and sunny, mate. So please, if you're not mentioned in the video or the forecast, don't worry about it. Nothing to worry about. So that's the next 4 days. Now watch this. 4 days after that, so 18th to the 21st, it's not over yet. Parts of Victoria, large parts of New South Wales, and large parts of inland Queensland, northeast South Australia, more heavy rain on the way with the second system to come. Right, wide areas of 50, fairly big patches of 100 in 4 days. Now this is going to cause some pretty serious flooding issues. Right, you just keep getting back-to-back rain over the same area. You've already got flooding happening, and it starts to become a real issue with back-to-back forecasts. We've noted that, you know, a lot of these rainfall forecasts are not huge amounts. They're not like, 500 mil in 24 hours. But it's an accumulation of saturated rainfall over the past month, and now it's continuing. So this starts to cause flooding issues. All right, we head over here and I'll show you just one more model quickly over the next 48 to 72 hours. This is from Pivotal. And you can see the circulation there, kind of even on the rainfall down here. South Australia, VIC, areas are there up to say 36, 40 mil. And then come down here into northeast Tasmania, 95, hundreds. That's why they're showing up. There's your 100. Parts of Victoria, possibly yet another 80, 100 mil to fall through that part of Victoria. Mainly probably in the eastern half at this stage. We'll just have to see what this low does as it spins its way across. New South Wales is not too bad through central and southern districts, and head up here into the northern and northeastern districts, and there's more heavy rain forecast for up there. 50s, possibly edging between 50 and 100 near the border. Get into Queensland, and again you're looking at 90s, 90s up through central inland, and just basically a broad amount of moderate to heavy rainfall there through inland Queensland. Have a look down here in the southeast, 20 mil, tapers off pretty quick, 15, 6. Right, 8, 7, look, run along the coast, 2, 1, 3, so east coast misses out. Right guys, head over here if you wish. We issue daily forecasts right across Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, and then significant weather forecasts for the rest. $27 a year. We handwrite our maps as severe weather threat maps, severe thunderstorm threat maps, rainfall forecast maps, and great amount of text detail every day for 3 days ahead. So you can support us by becoming a member, and you'll get a fair bit more out of us by that as well. $27 a year. All right, cheers guys. Stay safe. I know that there's a fair bit of flooding around the place in certain parts of Victoria and then New South Wales, and it'll probably start up here in southern Queensland shortly as well. Adelaide's getting a bit of a pummel on there this morning, so just keep an eye out for all the weather warnings and stay safe. Then we'll start to focus on this secondary system. Once this one buggers off, we'll have a look at this second and next system coming as well. All right, thanks for watching, guys.